Brother Teresa. What an honor it is to meet you.
Thank you, darling. I'm happy to be here.
You've had a life full of work, even from an early age. Tell me about how you started doing some charity work.
I've been very religious from an early age. And I've always been fascinated by stories of missionaries in India. I first arrived in India when I was 19 with the intention to do charity work for the poor there. I always felt it was my duty to help the poor and needy.
Now tell me about how you started to help all the sick people.
It all began long ago when I was a young girl. I was on a journey and was passing through poor villages where I was exposed to enormous amounts of poverty and sickness. Immediately, I was impacted by what I saw and felt it was my responsibility to help.
Oh, that's just wonderful, Mother Teresa. Tell me how you helped.
I began my Catholic work in Ireland, where I was teaching young girls. However, I felt I need to create more of an impact in poorer communities. Eventually, a young lad let me know that I was to begin work in Calcutta.
Wow, that's great to hear. What made you stay in Calcutta?
My initial reaction was thinking about how tough it was going to be there. Not only because of how many people were so poor, how truly poor they were. It was something like I had never seen before. I felt it was my responsibility to my faith and to my fellow humans to help these people.
Wow. Can you describe to me how the missionaries of charity came about?
Yes, of course, Love. As a result of our initial reaction when we began in Calcutta, we immediately felt it our responsibility to help. So a group of girls participated in many acts of charity to support the locals.
Wow, your dedication is truly inspiring, Mother Teresa. Can I help you out?
Thank you.
Can you describe specifically to me what you did to help the locals?
Yes. We began our educational work by opening 9 elementary schools, some including lepers.
I have to stop you there. So, were the lepers teaching students?
Oh no, they were incapable of teaching, so I thought it was my responsibility to help them despite their illness. So I and the other girls taught them ourselves. Thank you.
All right. Sorry to cut you off with that.
No, of course.
So, can you continue on about what you did to help the locals?
We opened a few orphanages as well to help the orphans and abandoned children because the rate of abandonment was so high due to poverty rates. Most parents could not afford to support the life of their own children.
Like I said earlier, truly, you are an inspiration. You also mentioned earlier that you did some work in other Indian cities. Can you describe that to me a little bit?
Yes, after we began our work in Calcutta, we began attracting attention to our organization. We were fortunate enough to expand to other Indian cities and other countries to continue our missionary work.
I have to ask, what was your main focus while helping these communities? In other words, what did you do to ensure all these people acquired?
The missionaries of charity focused on helping the poorest of the poor. With that being said, one of the main causes of poverty was the birth rate within these areas. Many people would get abortions to try to avoid having the stress of a child. The girls and I made it our mission to proclaim how precious life is and encourage others to avoid abortion. We offer help to pregnant women and couples to show how important the gift of life is. Helping the children, the leaders of our future, is of utmost importance to us.
I have never heard of anything so truly inspiring, Mother. Now tell me, after you expand to other Indian cities, your organization then began to expand to other nations. Can you just explain, go off on that a little bit for me?
Of course. Well, it really was just such a grand time for the organization. I've always dreamed since I was a little Albanian girl of helping others in all parts of the world. I've always said that despite my ethnicity and nationality, I belong to the world. With that being said, after the success of our work in India, I was given the opportunity to begin helping others elsewhere. We began to open schools in Jordan, the United Kingdom, and the United States, and we also began receiving support from the media, the Pope, and even the President.
Wow. Just wow. Your work is so truly inspiring.
Thank you.
It was your work at this time to help children and women living in poverty. But beginning in the 1980s, you began to shift your focus more to helping those affected by mental illness and HIV, AIDS. Can you just tell me a little bit about what caused this change and what compelled you to help this new type of poor people?
Well, all throughout my life, I always did all I could to help the sick and ill. And my organization even opened homes specifically dealt with you. But it wasn't until the AIDS epidemic that I started to truly devote myself to this cause. I felt that it was my duty to help those who could not help themselves, and this was something I could not ignore. I opened my first home for AIDS patients in San Francisco in 1988 and continued to open more homes for the sick as often as I could.
Incredible. People often applaud you for your work and what you do for communities around the world. But those who have spoken to you personally have commented that the most incredible thing about you is your character. How you are able to remain so holy despite all of the injustice in the world.
Well, I thank you for your compliments, but one of my most important personal values is humility.
That's obvious.
No matter what recognition or flattery I receive, I never allow my personal fame to get in the way of my work. It is others that are most important, and not me. I always approach my work with enthusiasm and energy, something others see and follow upon. I also avoid disrespecting others, even if their actions are affecting those who are living in poverty. Excuse me. It is my belief that two wrong actions do not make a right. It is when one is able to overcome evil that their work is able to be effective much more.
Wow. Seriously, Mother, you're bringing tears to my eyes. Okay. Sad to say, but we're coming to the end. I just have one more question. If you are able to give any advice to youth looking to do charity work, what would it be?
I think one of the most important parts of helping others is school. Staying in school and getting good grades is essential to a life of work to others. I also think that for one to truly help others, you must always put others before themselves.
Mother Teresa, thank you so very much for blessing us with your presence here today. I'm truly inspired by all your work, and I'm sure many others are too.
Oh, darling, save your flatter. It is my honor to be speaking with you, Julie. Thank you for having me. I was gonna